This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't tell me how to do it. What do you think of that? I was clearing my throat. Yeah, baby.
A great way to start the show.
It's one thing, honest God, I just got back from my walk again. Those Melaleucas, I got back, and when I'm outside, it doesn't happen. But as soon as I come back inside, I start sneezing like a son of a bitch. Why is it when you get back in the building, that's when you start sneezing? That makes no sense.
That is how it works. I feel like you don't.
Yeah.
Until you're not thinking about like, oh, I'm outside, blah blah blah. You're inside. You're like, I'm safe, and then it's okay. Now we're gonna attack. Now the pollen pounces.
I get on the elevator, and there's a guy. He sounded like he was from, I don't know, Western Europe somewhere, maybe Germany, or I don't know where the hell he was from. But he looks at me and he goes, "Your shirt's kind of sweaty. Were you walking?" I said, "Yes, I was walking." "You walk? What did you walk? About 5 miles?" I said, "Well, yeah, 5.5." I mean, this guy had it just nailed across the board. He goes, "What did it take you? About an hour and a half?" I looked at my watch. It was an hour and 32 minutes. It's like, Jesus, pal. Apparently you got this dialed right in, huh?
He's been following and watching.
Yeah,
It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that we're crossing a line between friendly and stalker there.
Right.
He knows a little too much information.
There was a drone that followed me all the way around, so maybe that was the problem. But
A little suspicious.
the guy had it nailed, but you know, it is what it is. It all works out in the end. But things are good. Just I mean, we're getting we're going to do this show, and then I'm going to do the show with Galfano, so I can be depressed when I get in the car.
There you go.
Come back home. It'll be magnificent. We're going to stop just south of Atlanta, just south of Chicago, and then we'll be home. Take it easy for a few days and get back at it with this show on Tuesday. So that'll be good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. It'd be a nice little drive vacation for you, and then back shoulder to the wheel.
It's shoulder to the wheel. That's exactly what I'm saying. I had a question asked of me on Facebook, and I want to ask you guys the same thing. I got to get to my page here, and I was asked which bars I went to growing up. Okay, which bars did you go to when you were growing up? And I answered I went to Howie's Bar, which was on West Broadway, just east of Penn Avenue. Then it turned into DeLisi's, and now I think it's closed now. I don't know for sure, but I think it is closed. But that was a hell of a bar, man. That was the bar. It was one of the first bars I went into when I turned 21 years old. I was not a big bar guy, by the way. I just always found when you went into bars that as soon as you got to a certain level of schweiling, somebody was always an asshole.
Okay.
So I just didn't really care for bars that much. You know, at first they were fun, but then as soon as everybody get that little buzz level, all of a sudden everybody's a tough guy, and it's like, oh God. Like I said, wow, who was that had the great? It was again Sonny Barger. Everybody's a tough guy until they meet a tough guy. Sonny Barger was the president of the Hells Angels, no question about it. I have decided also after this morning seeing, and I'm going to get through this quickly and then we'll get back to the bar thing, but after what I saw on television this morning, I just may fold up the tent and just never leave my house ever again, because apparently the Knights of Columbus, to celebrate the lives of people who gave their lives, you know, defending America, the Knights of Columbus are no longer allowed to do Memorial Day ceremonies in national graveyards because they're too religious. I grew up Catholic. I was around the Knights of Columbus. I never heard one thing about religion. It was always about what kind of whiskey are you going to drink? They're not even religious. They're just honoring the dead who gave their lives, defending this country. And now we're so far gone that you can't wear your snazzy outfit, because they got very snazzy outfits, by the way. You ever seen the Knights of Columbus?
Oh, yeah. They've got the white feathery ploof thing on there.
Yes.
Yep.
So now you can't, because it's too religious. Well, it's because they're Catholic. You know, you notice that it was the Jews, and now it's going to be the Jews and the Catholics, and then it's going to be, you know, whatever it is that douche nozzle is not. they're going to go after that. How is honoring those who gave their lives defending this country religious anyway?
Yeah.
It's not.
My question about this is like, who is complaining about this now?
Right.
Because to my knowledge, this has been going on my entire life. So it's been, and I looked it up. It looks like they've been a thing since like the 1800s, the late 1800s.
Yep.
Who is just now the people that are like, we're outraged. You got to stop. Like, who is that? Can we have a conversation with them? Because it seems like the Knights have been just fine up until now. So what has changed?
Yeah, and it sounds like it was the National Park Service who kind of oversees wherever location they are. They denied their permit, and their reasoning was that they have an allotted number of events that they have on site, and this was one too many, I guess. For the year is what they're going with.
As AJ already pointed out, they've been doing it for over 120 years. I mean, give me that bullshit. Oh, you signed up too late. Like, no, come.
They don't have to sign up anymore. It's just every day for the rest of time.
I know.
We're here.
So that is the biggest. That's the biggest problem, is that too many people are visiting these grave sites.
Yeah.
For the first time in world history, there's too many people at grave sites and parks, people.
Yep.
I have literally gotten to the point now, and it's going to be for those who are too far left and those who are too far right. Every time they bring something up to me, I'm going to go, okay, Hitler.
Yeah. And it looks like this is the second time. Last year, they also weren't allowed to do this either.
That's correct.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's not that I'm Catholic. I don't know anything about the Knights of Columbus. My dad wasn't exactly the Knight of Columbus type before he went into the nut house. Maybe he was the Knights of Columbus after he went nuts. Maybe that'd be the answer. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, but to deny the Knights of Columbus, you don't have anything better to do with your time. Let them go have their mass and honor the people that they probably served with and are friendly with, and keep it pushing.
I will say this again. I've never run into a person that has done something that, other than commit crimes or whatever, but I mean, if it's a situation where we're talking about, ceremonies at grave sites, or it's this or it's that or whatever, I've had enough of your extreme positions. We've talked about this before. We didn't all grow up the same. We had different upbringings. Some people grew up in rich families. Some people grew up in very poor families. They have nothing in common. So you've settled now on religion. And again, the Knights of Columbus aren't really even a religious organization. It's an excuse for Catholic men to get together and drink. That's basically what it is. So shut up, for Christ's sake. Go away. I mean, like I said, have you ever heard me say one negative word about anybody, what religion they are, what their skin color is, whether they used to have a dick and now they don't? What the hell do I care? I'm married to Catherine. I got a great life, got great kids, grandkids. I have good friends. I'm gonna be on with Ben Lieber today. Did an interview with him yesterday. Somebody on that. He's a nice guy. You know Ben at all?
Yeah, I've met him a handful of times, and very nice guy. I think I've met him once briefly, and then the next time I ran into him in the street, and he remembered who I was, went out of his way. Very, very nice guy.
He's just a great guy. So he and I were talking about this, and I brought up in that interview how happy I am to be back with Hubbard, because this is where I started my career. I mean, I had a job at KDAN. 1370, which is not even on the air anymore. And then I went to Grand Forks for a few months, but my first real job in radio was at 1500 KSTP. And I talked about the fact that it's where I began my career, where my career blew up, and I'm really, really happy to be back here. Why did I say that? Because you never hear anybody say those kinds of things anymore. I am very, very happy to be back with the Hubbards. Jenny, like I said, I've known her since she was 8 years old, for Christ's sake. It's just, can anybody be happy anymore with anything? Or are we all just, everything's horrible? I'm going to call Jenny on the phone today and go, you're horrible, and just hang up. What do you think?
questionable decision.
Questionable. This show might not be on Tuesday.
This 4-day break that we're going to have coming up here might be a little longer.
Might be a little longer than 4 days, but no, I mean, honest to God, look at just why don't you look at the good things? These people want to put on outfits, go to a graveyard and honor someone. Can't we just leave it there? Is that okay with you? I mean, honest to God, whatever.
Yeah, especially when we've got, 40-year-old guys showing up to, middle schools with machetes. Like, there's more important things to worry about than the Knights of Columbus having mass at a gravesite.
It just, all of it is just, look, I'm not a religious guy myself. I got in trouble in 3rd grade for criticizing the priest, saying that's not true. I don't know who I thought I was in 3rd grade, saying to the priest, oh, that's bullshit, basically is what I said to him. So, I've been questioning this stuff for a long time. My mother loved being a Catholic, so I guess I'm a bit offended by it because my mother loved being Catholic, so shut up around me with that. Mm-hmm. But I just, is anything okay? That's the question I have. Is anything all right with you hammerheads?
I'm trying to go through my list.
No.
I don't see anything.
No.
Well, and again, no, you have all these people out there, these, politically nut job people. And I've talked about this many, many times about, I was one of the first people who had a friend that turned from a man into a woman, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys, you might know her and you might not or whatever. But, they went through the transition and all this stuff. I didn't care. I still think the world of them. It's got nothing to do. They were my friend. It wasn't the fact that they had a dick is the reason they were my friends. They don't have it anymore. Good, you're still my friend. What the hell do I care? Right. But yet the Star Tribune and other dog shit news outfits, some television, some newspapers, said that I was homophobic. It's like, how is that possible that you can have a friend, one of the first people to ever transition in the state of Minnesota, is still my friend to this day? Why don't you do a little research and just, instead of just trying to harm people with the first thing out of your mouth? Why?
Yeah, because that would require research and
yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't like to get facts before they start spouting off.
I mean, as you know, you've known me for 7,000 years. I was also called a racist. Mm-hmm. A little difficult since I was the very first person in radio in the Midwest who hired black people. That's a little hard to see both sides of that issue, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, hiring black people is very racist of you, Tom. It
really is.
Or JB and Philip,
Philly Dog. Yeah, I mean, you go down the list. It's just, why are they allowed to get away with that? And this is exactly the reason I even thought of these things. This is not about me. It's about, why are these people allowed to say these things when they're not true, but it harms you so good? That's okay. As long as it harms you and not me, then it's okay. You selfish pricks. Our school system is destroying this country, and I'm talking about from kindergarten through grad school. Seriously, you're destroying this country with this puke that you're teaching our children, right?
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of issues with school, especially here in Minnesota. I feel like today that maybe didn't exist back in the day.
I don't know why. Okay, let's. You know what? We have to segue into Judd here, but I do want to talk about the favorite places you used to go to. Now, Tevin, you grew up in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. AJ, where'd you grow up?
In Fridley.
In Fridley. So that's why I thought you had said that. You and Bilski.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Bilski.
There we go.
What's the name of that club over there on the lake, Moore Lake?
Crooners.
Crooners. Yeah, I love Crooners. My brother Troy used to be a bartender there.
Oh.
I love that area.
That sounds like an old 1950s.
Like, hey, come on in for a
cabaret.
Steak
Let's bring on Judd's All Get, baby. We got to take a break, though, first, don't we?
We do.
Yep.
We shall take a break, be right back with Judd, Score North, right after this. It's time to think about the high taxes in Minnesota. That is hilarious because that was brought up to me this morning. A person walked up to me on my walk this morning and said, Tom, you're from Minnesota, aren't you? I said, yeah. He said, is it true that the taxes are going to go up to 15% state? I said, that's what I hear. So it is time to think about those high taxes in Minnesota and how much you could be saving with the Sioux Falls location. One of the first things Minnesota companies that have expanded or moved to Sioux Falls notice are the lower tax bills. Companies don't pay corporate or personal state income tax, and their other expenses are lower in Sioux Falls, too. Those business leaders started at our website, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com, where you find a lot of the information you need to make the Sioux Falls decision. You'll discover just how quickly and efficiently you can get your operation started in Sioux Falls. Not only will your business be up and running sooner, you'll also be making higher profits. I said higher profits. You heard me. The National Tax Foundation's new index shows Minnesota at number 45, paying way too many taxes, and South Dakota's at number 2, one of the best tax climates in the nation. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Check out SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
See? Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees. I want to thank all you listeners out there for your continued support, and I thank you as well. And to thank you, we're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So all you have to do is call 800-516-5146, or you can also go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You horn tootin'. That's all I'm saying. Judd, I've never liked you. Are you Catholic? Get away from me if you are.
Yeah. Heck yes, I am.
So am I. Knights of Columbus no longer allowed to honor people on Memorial Day.
Okay.
Did you see that deal this morning?
No, but
Knights of Columbus. Yeah. Yep.
they should do them,
Too
as
religious.
they say. You do you, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you do you, exactly. You're honoring the people who gave their lives in war to protect this country. You're honoring them, and that's somehow religious, therefore it's not allowed.
Oh.
What? What happened to this world? Explain it to me.
First of all, it would take too long, and second of all, I don't even have the bandwidth to understand any of it. So
It's true.
I'm sorry. When it comes to religion and politics, I don't have any clue. That's why I like sports.
Don't blame you. Yeah, it's sport. We can talk sports
Sports
if
is
you.
easy.
I don't want to talk sports today because Tevin and AJ already told me why I don't want to talk sports. Although the Twins won
I was
yesterday.
going to say, your Twins won.
They did.
Your Twins won 3-2. They won 2 of 3 in Washington. They're back on track. Another lengthy great streak followed by a lengthy bad one in which we won't talk about the Twins.
I thought it was 2-2. It was 2-1. Didn't they play 4 games in one?
No, 3. They've lost game
I
1.
thought
They
it was-
won games 2 and 3.
Oh, okay. For
now
some
they
reason
come
I thought
home.
it was a 4-game set.
Yeah, they're off today, and then they play Texas for 3 and the Royals for 4.
There you go. That should work out pretty well for them because the Royals suck.
But no, they're good this year.
The Royals are good this year?
Yeah, they're playing really well. Yep.
Oh, I thought we played them already and beat them.
They played them in the opening series, and they played, and Kansas City didn't play great there, but yeah, they've been
Okay.
they played really well. But yeah, the Wolves lost last night. I think that's what you're referring to at Target
How
Center. It was a weird game. So they lost 108-105. They led a lot of the game. They looked like they were still really fatigued, if that's the right word, from game 7, which is not surprising. But this should be a long series. So I would certainly not get freaked out by the fact that they lost one game. Like I think we're in for a these are two teams that are going to ultimately, if they're both playing well, work their asses off. And I think the question is going to come down to sort of the superstars, because Kyrie Irving in the first half was brilliant, and he finished with 30. Luka Doncic was brilliant in the second half, and he finished with 33. Ant only had 19 last night with 6 of 16 shooting, and Cat had 16 points on 6 of 20. So you're going to need more flat out shooting wise from Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. But I think we're in for a long one here.
I hope you're right. And I hope they win. Man, it'd be so great to come home and watch them kick some ass and win the NBA title. That'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fun? And the best part is you can watch it. It's on TV. Unlike some teams, it's on TV.
That's right. Thanks for bringing it up. The last Twins game I could watch on TV was yesterday, so I'm leaving right after the family show today, so I won't see any Twins games for maybe 4 or 5 years. How long?
Who the hell knows? I'm in the same boat. So, but wait, you've got DirecTV, right?
Yeah, I do. That's true.
So you can watch them at home. You're better off than I am.
Well, you could come over to my house and watch it. We got 8 chairs there.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we got a movie theater in our house.
Oh, hold on a second. You got
Hold on a second.
You got an extra room?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of extra rooms.
I don't think Dawn would be too upset. I mean, she'd get full custody of the remote control and the dog. She probably wouldn't know I was gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's the one thing I got to tell you though. The back row, the far left chair is where I sit. 2 chairs down is where Catherine sits. And Jude sits in the middle chair, so you cannot sit in that chair because he has to be right between Catherine and me. Otherwise, it's just not good.
You know what? I've got a dog. I totally get that.
Oh, yeah.
I got no problem with that.
You know what I love when you do something like I said, Catherine and I tend to like the same TV shows and all the rest of it. And I sit, up in the chair where she likes to lay down on the couch. And if her feet are too close to him where he always lays, he sits and does this to me. He stares at me like, hey, would you get her under control?
Yeah. Yeah. Help me out here.
Help me out.
Help me out, Tom.
That's hilarious. Whatever.
Oh, they're characters.
Oh, dogs are, I love dogs though, man. Dogs, cats, I love all that stuff. I don't think there's an animal I don't like. Are there any animals I don't like? Do you know? Just judging by my character.
Chinchillas,
pets.
Maybe. Ferrets?
Maybe chinchillas.
Yeah, I was going to say, pets, probably not. Just across the board, yeah, there's probably quite a few that I wouldn't like personally. Right. But, yeah, dogs and cats are great.
Stingray, you don't like those?
Yeah, after what they did to Steve Irwin.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good call. I forgot about that. Yak. Ouch, that must have hurt.
Yeah, fight crocodiles your whole life, and then a stingray just takes you out.
Stingray kicks that ass. Unbelievable. All right, can we keep avoiding talking about the Timberwolves because that pisses me off? But,
game 2 on Friday. You got a chance. 1-1.
Yeah,
that's true.
And the game's here. Big block party downtown too. They're doing on Friday. On Friday before the game, starting at 4:00, the Wolves and some sponsors are doing a block party. I think they're going to block off right by Glick's there and Kieran's pub, and it's going to be I think it's going to be festive, is the best way to put it. I do not think there will be a problem with people going downtown on Friday night.
No,
between the Twins and the Wolves, it should be pretty vibrant.
It's funny when you have big events downtown, how all of a sudden everyone goes downtown. But when you don't have events, we complain that people don't go downtown. But then I would ask, what's the incentive to go downtown? Like when you do have this game.
Still
like
get robbed.
One big looping conversation.
we get very strength in numbers. That's
Strength in
the key
numbers,
thing.
baby.
Strength in numbers. That's what you need.
Okay, Judd and AJ, you get the vote, and if it's split, then I guess we're just going to have to call it a split.
Okay.
Should we or should we not kick Tevin off the show for saying vibrant?
Oh, I don't have a problem with vibrant.
Okay, that's.
I have
okay.
no problem with that. I think that's a pretty good word.
Well, vibrant.
Vibrant. It's a vibrant area. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that one.
I'm giving him credit because I didn't know he had vibrant in his vernacular.
I'll surprise you every once in a while.
Wow. Wow.
Every once in a while.
I didn't
So I'd
know
say
you
keep
knew.
him. I'd say keep him.
Age with a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one.
I love this show so far. I'm having fun. That's all I know. All right, so we got the Wolves losing. They got to win. We got the Twins winning. They got to win more.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. Yes. They have to keep. Yes. A little bit of consistency from the Twins. We don't need them to win 12 consecutive games.
No.
But this whole, hey, we're going to win, we're going to play great for 15 games. Now we're going to play crappy has to come to an end here at some point.
No, I suppose that's true. Have you guys been in the stadium yet this year, the Twins?
Yeah, I've been to a couple games.
Nope, not yet.
AJ, not you either?
Oh, no, not yet. I'm trying to get out here pretty soon, though.
It is, honest to God, one of the great stadiums in all of baseball. There's no question about that. It's just wonderful. What a great day that is. Fantastic.
First class. They did it. And I think we talked about this before, too. The amount of money that they have pumped in there to improve it. I think they've done improvements every year but one.
Oh, is that right? Every year but one?
Every year but one, I think they've done some type of improvement. Some have been pretty big, some have been small, but yeah, they have done a fantastic job.
Is the league the one that made them take those pine trees down in center field? Remember the first year they had pine trees? I love those. Why'd they make them take them down?
Because hitters evidently complained about the fact that it obstructed the batter's eye. I'm not kidding.
God.
But yes, it was a great look.
I loved it. I thought it was like Minnesota all the way, man.
Well, in Philadelphia, what they do, and this is what they should do. They have like in center field, they have, how can I put this? A very, very nice trimmed shrubbery out there.
Oh, do they?
That's what they should have. So like instead of just a grass hill, what they should do is they should plant some stuff. I originally said once the trees were gone, what would be really cool is grow a little garden out there.
Yeah, there you go. You can get that going. I
Little
just
tomato plants, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Like especially grape tomatoes. I love grape tomatoes. Get those going. But I just thought of something. Yeah. So little green trees against a green background. They were not huge trees. They were little trees or medium-sized trees.
Medium-sized, yeah.
Those distract me. But apparently those commercials that run on a 50-foot by 100-foot flashing billboard, that's okay. Huh?
Yeah. Or the thousands of fans frantically screaming and waving their hands in the air.
I mean, come on, really?
The batter's eye is sacred.
Yes, it is.
The batter's eye is a sacred place for the hitter to have a good view of the pitch coming off the pitcher's hand.
Unless there's money involved, then forget about the batters.
Well, I think what you're talking about is those ads that we see on TV, right?
Yeah, they don't run when the batters are up. I know that.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my story.
They're. I'm sorry. It's terrible. It's awful. It's an affront to baseball.
Good. Thank you. Thanks for jumping on the wagon.
It's an affront to baseball.
I really appreciate it. Oh, my God. It's 8:30 already. What the hell?
Egert.
I don't want Egert.
He's chomping at the bit.
He yells his name.
Egert's chomping at the bit to get on.
He is tramping at the bit. There's no question about it. All right, so, Pally, we will talk to you next Tuesday.
You will indeed. Have a great
Looking forward to it.
Weekend. Enjoy. Safe travels.
Thanks very much. We'll talk
You're welcome.
to you then.
All right, bye.
I like that. That was nice, AJ. He dumps Tevin and not Judd. Way to go, AJ.
No, I think I that's on me.
You did it?
Let me get back
you're
to
quitting? You're quitting the show?
Tevin's fat figure in the keyboard over there.
Oops.
We'll figure it out in break.
Well, we got to take a break anyway, so it's a good time to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I love working with Judd. Don't tell him I said that, though. Okay?
All right, I will.
Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now's the time to get a jump on some of the Livia Way. Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks free. In those first 8 weeks, by following Livia's nutrition plan with the help of their expert team of registered dietitians and nutritionists, you can lose up to 20 pounds or more. Imagine how much better you'll feel. First of all, yeah, you'll feel a lot better. Not to mention how much better your summer clothes will fit. Join today, and you'll also receive a complimentary in-body scan. Now, I got to tell you this, because, Carol worked hard on this over at Livia. I'll be doing an appearance today on, I recorded it yesterday with Ben Lieber, the midday show there. That's a good show, by the way. And by the way, I've met Ben. I was on the show about a year ago, and very, very nice people on the show. Elizabeth, Ben, do a nice job. But yeah, I did an interview on there about Livia, as a matter of fact. We talked about many different things, but Livia came up, and the direction you get, the suggestions, they're never tell you can't do it that way. They don't do it like that. They give good advice. You could follow the advice, obviously. You do what you do. But, yeah, they do a really, really nice job. So if you get a chance to watch Ben and Elizabeth today on that show, tune in, because I'm sure I made an ass of myself. You know what I mean? But in any case, join today and get your first 8 weeks of Livia's nutrition plan free. Visit livia.com. That's LIVEA.com. Or call 855-GO-LIVIA. And Livia's medical weight loss is now offering GLP-1 medication starting at just $2.99 per month. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. Visit livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Get a jump on summer the Livia way.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and ship issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I got to get Jim Paul on the show. He used to pop on the KQ show once in a while. Tommy. Jim Paul, of course. Valley dealership. You know what I'm saying. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to, fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments, planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation, because you got nothing to lose. And you'll have an expert planning. I just called Josh Arnold an expert. What do you think of that? You'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
And now, Channel 5's Chris Egert. What's that face?
What the hell are all the boxes flying around for on the screen?
That's because Tevin decided to change the show up completely.
It's like Brady Bunch or something.
Oh, I just picked up the Chris Egert thing, right? The Chris Egert intro. Underneath, now I know why he did it. Taronda Jones is going to be on in a few minutes. It's like, I got to look really good in my little special frame. God, Tevin. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, is that right? Let me just brush it off a little bit. Why don't you have a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, the OWN network?
Me and her, we tried to hash out a deal for a show.
Did you?
Numbers, yeah.
You just wanted too much money, they wouldn't pay you?
Yeah, they couldn't afford me.
I understand. Speaking of not being able to afford someone, Chris Egert, the highest paid news anchor in the history of the planet.
Yep, I am living the big life over here, Tommy.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. So I did see the big news this morning that there will be no celebrating dead soldiers in cemeteries by the Knights of Columbus because it's too religious. He just stares at me. I love that. What is happening to this world, Mr. Egert? You didn't grow up Catholic, did you?
No, but I married a Catholic.
Or you married a Catholic. So
in a non-Catholic wedding, I should add, if that gives you any indicator of.
Well, but Catherine's Catholic, but she grew up Catholic. I grew up Catholic. We got married in the Catholic Church, St. Stephen's, out there, and I guess it's in Minnetonka. Was not very religious. I got to be very honest with you. It's like,
well, they've got rules about how you can get married in the church, and I'm Catholic adjacent. How's that?
Oh, Catholic adjacent. There you go. Well, yes. You're not welcome in any cemetery on Monday because you're Catholic. They don't like Catholics anymore. Started with the Jews. They don't like the Jews. So now they're going to throw in I don't like the Catholics either, because Catholics are kind of like a combination of Protestants and Jews. We kind of meet in the middle. You know what I mean?
Sure. I can see that.
Shut up. Get away from me. That's all I have to say to you. Get away.
I don't know. Listen, all you're saying, Tom, this reminds me of, I'm going to bring it back to basketball. And this reminds me of referees who aren't very good and don't really have a great control of the game or confidence in their abilities. So they call all this little ticky-tacky crap.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think the world that we live in is involved in a lot of ticky-tacky crap, whatever it might be, because they feel like they need to be, because there's no other reason, and that's how they're involving themselves in things. Does that make sense? Are you following my analogy? Okay.
I just don't understand these extreme positions that people take now. Would you calm down? Jesus. Relax. Right?
Yeah. I could not agree more.
Here's my threat. Either all of you relax or I'm going to start drinking again, and it ain't going to be pretty for you.
I will be honest with you, Tom. I would give a fair amount of money to go back and party with Tom in the good old drinking days. I think we would have had a hell of a time.
Okay. I'll give you a quick example. I spent like 13 years now. I think I stopped drinking like 13 years ago. You know how I know that? Because I'm still married to Catherine.
Well,
that's how come I know that.
And there's a reason you made the decision, right?
Well, I don't know that if I made the decision, but somebody did, and followed along. But no, basically, I'll give you a very, very quick 15-second version of going drinking with Tom. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, let's go out drinking. Then we're at the bar. God, isn't this fun? This is the greatest, man. This is the wonderful. What a great time. Thanks for coming. 2 hours later, what the hell are you looking at? What do you think?
Yep.
He goes, yup.
It has a tendency to do that to people.
It kind of does. There's no question about it. No doubt. Oh, I had some friends, honest to God, once they got that drunky, pissed off going, it was not pretty.
No, it's not. And it's too bad when it gets to a point where, unfortunately, you get to a point where you've got to stop. But a lot of people make that decision, and that's that was the right thing. I'm sure you look back on that and realize it was the right thing. So
no, let me put it this way too. I got a number of friends at the Minneapolis Police Department. Bob Kroll's a good friend, and Tony Miranda is a good friend. You go down the list of all these wonderful people. One of our buddies used to be on the Minneapolis Police Force coming to town, and we all get together. It's usually about 5 or 6 of us, something like that, 5 cops and me. And we go over to Mayslack's, and it's just a ball. They sit around, they have some drinks, and blah, blah, blah. I love Mayslack's anyway. Did you ever spend any time at Mayslack's, you guys?
Nope.
Oh, God, it was the greatest of all time. When Stan Mayslack would dish up those roast beef sandwiches, oh, my God, they were good.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It was a wonderful time. But, yeah, we're all going to get together, I think in late June, something like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't even schweel anymore. I just watch them schweel.
Well, I remember when this happened because Leah McLean from Channel 5, one of my colleagues here, she did a story with you when you had been in that portion of your life and you decided that you were going to stop drinking. And I remember when she did the story, and I thought it was very courageous for somebody in your position to admit that you got a problem and to talk about it, because you didn't have to do that. You had no obligation to tell people that you were going to quit. So I admire you for that.
Well, it might help somebody out,
Yeah, for sure.
Plus the fact it was kind of sucking up to Catherine, so I used it as a tool.
Well, if it works, then good, right? It's a win-win.
It's a win-win, baby. No, I to tell you the truth, and I drank mostly wine. You didn't want me drinking whiskey. Oh God. Seriously, I was too nuts for myself when I drank whiskey. I don't want to be around me. It's one of those deals.
Whiskey has a tendency, brown liquor can do that to people if they're, yeah.
No doubt about it. But yeah, we had fun back in the day, laughing it up and all the rest of it. But the other part of that is the 22 guys I went to grade school with, there are 4 of us left. And I think the old booze had something to do with a lot of it. No doubt.
Yep.
So what's the big headline today, Buster? You don't even want to talk about news, do you?
Everyone's driving. It's holiday weekend. The roads are going to be busier than they've ever been.
Busier than ever? That's
yeah.
not good.
Yeah. Apparently AAA says it's going to be like a record-setting year. Some whack job allegedly brought a machete into a Hmong school in St. Paul, which, okay, I don't know why. We're still trying to figure that out.
Why do people, what is it? Tevin just brought this up yesterday. Just tune in television, you'll see all this violence in schools now. What is wrong with people?
Well, it definitely, the school thing, that's I've just about got mine out of school, and it's a weird thing because Tevin and AJ grew up with it. Tom and I, we did not grow up with there really being a threat of violence in schools. That was not really a thing.
No.
But it's a different world, and kids do have anxiety about going to school, rightfully so. And they look at kids who they can, like, there's school shooter guy, and it's messed up. It's a different world.
You just gave me a magnificent memory, and I'll just use the first name of the 2 guys. The one time a fight broke out at St. Anne's, Chucky and Tommy, my 2 buddies, got in an argument. And I won't say who put the other one in a headlock, but he started choking him out. And there was this silent, about 5 seconds. 5 seconds of no noise at all. Then all of a sudden you heard, "He's killing me."
Oh, no.
I go, okay, tap out. Here we go. Time to back off. Tapping out.
Got the old voice box on that one, huh?
He did, absolutely.
It's funny.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir. Oh, you got to go anyway. What the hell? Look at how busy it is.
Yeah, we have big things to talk about. There's an update on the corpse flower that's blooming at Como Zoo and Conservatory that smells like rotting flesh.
Yes,
so I'm going to go inform the public about that over on my other show. So I'm doing very important work, Tom.
We have changed the name of the show from the Tom Barnard Morning Show to the Corpse Flower Show. What do you think?
I can't speak for you guys, but corpse flower would be a great way to describe me.
It seems like a band name.
Yeah.
My career is a corpse of what it once was.
Corpse flower. All right, Pally, we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
All right, bye. Have safe travels back.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, bye.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Take a break. Be right back. Taronda Jones is going to join us, ladies and gentlemen. The Never, Ever Mets. Right after this.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabanco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know what I love about working here again? Like I said, working back at Hubbard's a great deal. And I'll give you an example why. Because I was talking to Ben Lieber, and I'm going to be on the show today.
Uh-huh.
Chris Egert sends me a note. The name of the show is Twin Cities Live.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, though, that he would send me that message. The name of the show is Twin Cities. I must not have said the name of the show properly.
Oh, yeah. I think you just said you were going to be on with Ben Lieber. But, yeah, that's the Twin Cities Live is just the name of the show that he does.
And what time's that on?
Uh-oh. Now you're putting me on.
Sometime in the morning. I work in radio, so I'll have to figure it out when I get over the building.
But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Ben did a great job with the interview. He did a really nice job.
That's awesome.
Is Taronda ready to go?
Sure is.
See, now I'm going to be in big trouble, Taronda, because I was just talking about somebody else doing a great job at an interview. Now I got to step up or I'll look terrible. What do you think?
Oh, Lord.
She goes, oh, boy.
You look good, okay?
Let's get it done. The Never Ever Mets, the 10-episode series, which premiered on the OWN network on April 19th. Listen to this. Artfully bridges the realities of online dating, romance, and reality TV, taking viewers through the experiences of 7 couples who have found love online but have never met physically. How is that possible, Taronda?
It's possible. We're showing it's possible. I think ever since we slipped into the metaverse, things have been a little different ever since COVID. Everybody been working virtually. We were going to the doctor online. I remember I broke my toe and I had to ask Google what happened to it, and it said you're gonna die. But
Taronda, you made that up.
Every time I get sick or I try to figure out what's wrong with me, I Google it, and Google always tell me I'm gonna die.
You're gonna die any minute now, Taronda. No, I'll make sure. Now that you know me, you'll never die.
Oh, praise God.
I'll watch out for you. Don't worry about it. Taronda is from the south side of Chicago. And by the way, Taronda, you want to hear my favorite favorite story about the South Side of Chicago?
Yeah.
So on July 2nd, I think it was one year, I used to go to Chicago all the time and do voiceover. So I would go down, hang out down. I love Chicago anyway, just love that town. So a friend of mine says, hey, man, we should go buy some fireworks. I said, well, where do we go buy fireworks? He goes, we'll go to the South Side of Chicago. And I said, okay, that sounds good. And the guy's a bigger guy, and I got some size myself, so I was like, whatever. So we're walking along, we run, and these three guys are standing there. And we walk up, and my friend says to one of the three guys, hey, you guys got any fireworks you want to sell? There's a long pause, and the guy goes, you got cash on you? Rhonda, it was the greatest. I started laughing, but he was serious. You really do have cash on you, huh? I love that about the South Side. I do. I just love the South Side of Chicago. No question. I love the fact that in certain parts of the South Side of Chicago, there's one street that has like 5 different names. The further south you get, it changes its name. Like it's named after a pope in one area, named after Martin Luther King in another. It's the same street, but it has like 5 different names. I like that.
That's the West Side.
Yeah, it's on the West Side. That's it. That's right. You're absolutely right. That's the West Side.
Laramie and Jeffrey, Madison and Pulaski. It just has different. It's got more than 2 names. It's crazy.
It is. So, how did you get involved in the Never Ever Mets, Rhonda? How did you give you a call and say you got to be on this show?
No, so my manager actually called me and said OWN Network was looking for a TV show host for this dating show. They threw my name out there. They thought I was very interesting, and they said, let's interview her. I did the interview, killed it, and a couple days later, I got a call. They said they love me, and here I am in a mess, in a pool full of mess.
Does that mean, Taronda Jones with us, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the Never Ever Mets. Does that mean at the end of this interview, I have to say, Taronda, I love you, and then you'll just hang up?
Yeah, I love you.
Oh, I'm deeply honored. That's all I have to say. So it says here, Taronda is a philanthropist and is an active member of the Brady campaign, which helps prevent gun violence. So I do have to be serious for 1 second. So thank you for that, because I grew up in a neighborhood a lot of gun violence. So that's a big job you did. So thank you.
Yeah, I joined that back in 2016. Doing the Master Chef show to give the proceeds to the Brady campaign. A lot of people don't know my brother was actually murdered in the streets of Chicago in 2014. So definitely for a good cause, definitely for a good cause.
No question about it. And we did have to get serious there for a second, because that's some great work you're doing. This gun violence has got to stop, Taronda. It's got to stop.
We're working on it. The Brady campaign, they're really great at legislating gun laws and things like that. I just wish people would take it more serious. I think we're everybody's in la la land right now. We're in the matrix big time. So a lot of people they're just doing their own thing and don't even know what's going on around them.
Yeah, I could see that to be true. Now, I'm going to shift gears on you once again, because I just saw another reason that if you and I ever meet, I have to be very, very nice to you and very polite to you, because many people might not know this, but Taronda was a butcher at a Chicago grocery store. So she can wield that meat chopper. I'm not going to piss you off. It ain't ever going to happen.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. I travel with a knife like it's chopsticks. I do the little swing, pat moves, all that stuff. Please don't.
Honest to God, I feel like I'm back in the old neighborhood, Taronda. This is a great interview, magnificent interview, as a matter of fact. So are you having a good time doing the Never Ever Mets?
Oh, my goodness. It was such an amazing time. I also learned a lot through these couples. I've taken away some gems and actually placed them into my relationships, whether it's friendship, partnership, whatever that ship may be. I was able to take some of the lessons that I've learned from these couples and take them with me. So I definitely thoroughly enjoyed myself doing this show.
Well, that's a good thing. So do you plan on just, is this what you love to do, I'm assuming?
I love to entertain in general. But it doesn't stop here. I definitely don't want to limit myself. This is just another title that goes on my resume. So now you can call me a host, not just an actress, rapper, director, producer, but now you can add host to my repertoire.
All right. Could I ask you one other question very quickly? There's a picture of you, and you have your what looks to be maybe your left hand on your chin. Are those rings you're wearing? What is it? What your rings cannot be that big. You know the picture I'm talking about?
I do. Is it with the yellow hat?
Maybe.
That's what it is. Yes, those are my crystals. Those are my stones, my crystals. I go everywhere with them. Don't go nowhere without it. I like to think that the reason why I'm so vibrant, the crystals adds a razzle dazzle to my sparkle. You know what I mean? But no, those are my stones. They all represent different things. You know, they represent clarity, harmony, peace, joy, and things like that. And if you look close, you probably can't see it because it's cut off, but if you look close enough at my pinky, one of the rings is a picture of my mother. Inside of it, it's a picture of my mom.
Oh, that's very, very sweet. I'm glad to hear that. No question about it.
Yeah.
Ronnie, you got to come in a studio sometime. Did you ever come to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
I've never been in Minneapolis, so I might have to make a trip out there. You told me you love me. We go together now.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I got to get some crystals, though. I got to wear some crystals on my left hand when you come to town. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Well, the Never Ever Mets, the 10-episode series, which premiered on the OWN network on April 19th, artfully bridges the realities of online dating, romance, and reality TV. Taronda Jones, you are one hell of an interview, so come back anytime you wish.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one on purpose.
All right, goodbye. Taronda's getting a phone call, apparently, while she's on the show. And she just starts laughing. See, now that reminds me of being back in the old neighborhood going high school, because honest to God, I love women like her, or just people like her, I guess. But there are women. Women have a special deal when they kind of take that attitude. I love it. Isn't that great?
Yeah, and her personality, she was on a show Empire that was on Fox.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And so she was one of the main characters on there, and she sounds like her personality in real life is very similar to what she portrayed. A lot of
I have a question for you, Tevin.
Mm-hmm.
For the average, like, honky host out there,
mm-hmm.
How do they know how to interview somebody like her, like Taronda?
I mean, I think it's just people are people. Like, as long as you can, show interest in what they're here to promote, it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. You can connect over shared experiences.
Yeah. You know the reason I asked you that question?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a woman, and most guys are not used to talking to women that just open up the way she did. I mean, she was wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Which I just love. I love that about the interviews, when people just open up and go, okay, we're going to have a good time.
Yep. Right? Yeah, especially when you're here to promote something. Like, if you're in a bad mood, like, nobody's going to want to watch your show or do whatever you're here to promote.
But I was very serious. She's welcome back anytime, and I would love to talk to her again. No question. We do have to take a break here, but we'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Another great guest coming up in just a couple of minutes. Paul Crowder will join us right after this. K&L Surplus and Ammo in Atlanta Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Atlanta Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right, because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
It is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be schmoozing in a couple of seconds. AJ's on the horn right now. I'm assuming with Paul Crowder.
Yeah, he said he's on hold right now, so we're just waiting for them to get back to us, and we'll talk a little Blue Angels documentary.
Yeah, we're just waiting to have Paul connected to us here, so just give me a minute or two here, guys.
Forget it. Now or never. He gives me the thumbs up. I got to bring this up to Paul because I believe I was about 9 years old when the Blue Angels song. You ever heard the Blue Angels song?
I didn't know they had a song. I thought it was just the planes.
We're flying Blue Angels way up high. Oh yeah, you got it. They did a hit song about the Blue Angels when they came out. When they first started doing the like four airplanes, the Blue Angels, or was it 3-4 airplanes, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Like maybe it depends on which show they're doing, but yeah, it's like 3 to 5 planes that do all types of aerial things that I would never imagine. I could never fly. Are you kidding me? We're gonna do what?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. I don't think I would qualify for that job, no question about it. But
no,
I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting because the Blue Angels was a very, very big deal when I was a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've got Paul on the line right now.
Oh, Paul got to hear the first thing I said about him is that the Blue Angels were a very big deal when I was a kid. Mr. Crowder, did you hear me say that?
I did indeed, yes, and you're not wrong.
I will tell you. I was thinking Blue Angels started like the late 50s, something like that, early 60s. Is that right?
1947 they started. General Admiral Nimitz wanted to make sure that people didn't forget about Navy planes after the big success during World War II of all the aircraft that helped us secure the Pacific.
47.
So they put a few people together, and they made it. They made a aviation team, and with Lieutenant Commander Butch Morris at the helm, picked his favorite friends, and they went out and started the Blue Angels. 1947. So we're on the 78th anniversary this year.
That is wonderful because, like I said, when I was about 9 years old, there was a big hit, and the song was a huge hit. The Blue Angel song was a huge hit, as a matter of fact.
The Van Halen thing, that one.
No, it was long before that one. I don't even remember. I don't remember who did it, Paul, but it went the Flying Blue Angels way up high. It was a really good song. It was a huge hit too.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I look forward to hearing that. I'm unaware of that song, which I feel a little embarrassed about.
Well, we come together to learn together, Paul. The Tommy and Paul meetings are always about learning.
They certainly are. And that's certainly what happened on this project. It was like one of the most unbelievable learning curves of my life, spending the season with them in 22.
See, here's what I love. I want to read one line, and then I just want to hear everything you have to say about this. Crowder spent the first 20 years of his career as both a studio engineer and a professional drummer, and then you jammed with Paul McCartney at age 14. Boy, that must have been a tough row to hoe.
Yeah, it was. You know, my father worked for Paul for many, many years, from 1973 until his passing. And we were just up at the farm watching. They were working on the Back to the Egg album. I was a fledgling drummer, and I asked Steve Holley, the drummer at the time, can I go into the studio and play a couple of your drum kits? Because he had like 6 or 7 set up in the studio. He gave me the okay, so I went and did that. And during that moment, about an hour later, Paul and Denny and Lawrence Juba all came into the studio, and I sort of like got all scared, and I put the sticks down to run away, and Paul said, no, mate, stay there. And he picked up his bass, Denny got on the keyboards, Lawrence played guitar, and we jammed for like 15 minutes. I even have a cassette of it. They record everything, and I still have that.
God, that's wonderful. That's a great story. And you were 14 years old?
Yeah, I was 14, and but to be fair, I've known Paul since I was 9 at that time, and we've been very interactive. And I'd been jamming with Denny Lane because we lived near with Denny at his house. He would have parties all the time, and when Steve got like, I want to go get a drink, Paul, do you want to mind sitting in? I'd sit in for 5-6 songs with all these God knows who, like super, super top quality musicians. And I'd jam with them. So when it came, I was kind of seasoned jamming with big names, and I wasn't perturbed. I can still remember to this day this one moment when we were playing, and Paul turned to me. I can see his face right now, like photographic memory of it. He was playing his Rickenbacker bass, and he just said, "Use your tom-toms." Like, all right, Paul, I'll use the tom-toms. And it was fantastic.
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Crowder, our very special guest. Soar with the Blue Angels, a brand new documentary that chronicles a year with the Navy's elite flight demonstration squadron. Streaming on Prime Video beginning today, as a matter of fact, May 23rd. So I want to hear all about the brand new documentary, Paul.
Well, it's an incredible journey. I mean, if you've ever seen the Blue Angels live, as yourself has, if you've watched them from the crowd, this version of the film, this is like going to see the Blue Angels, but getting to ride in the cockpit with them, if you like. Ooh. We put the audience in the cockpit and up high. All the vantage points, 90% of our vantage points are all from the air. We had an incredible air-to-air team that worked on Top Gun Maverick, Kevin LaRosa and Michael Fitzmaurice, and then Jessica Young as our incredible DP shooting as well. And it was just really an amazing team of people that managed to capture these guys in a way that's never been captured before. I mean, a commercial helicopter has never been inside the box, which is the term they like to use, of the Blue Angels flying demonstration. You usually clear the air 5 miles square.
Sure.
So, this was unprecedented footage that we got, unprecedented coverage, and we spent the whole year with them. So we watched them train, we watched them to the first show, and then we watched as they then pick the new boss that's coming in from the next year. Because with the Blue Angels, it's like a tour. It's just like a regular military tour. You do 2 to 3 years for your tour, and then you move back to your regular service. So they rotate a third of that team every year. So out of 140 people, a third of them have to get up to speed within 3 months, and then they're on the road for 300 days. So we follow all of that. We see the new boss getting picked, the old boss having to hang up his boots and pass off to the new guy, and then they also pick next year's team, the third that are going to join. And in that process, we also were there for when they picked the very first female pilot, Amanda Starlin, Lee, if you use the call sign. And she got picked as the first female demonstration pilot for the Blue Angels, which was incredible. And we followed the latter half of her journey and joining the team.
Paul, do you look back at your life and go, how did all this happen? I mean, that's pretty amazing. Your life's been pretty amazing.
I have, not Z-League maybe, but it's a little Z-League, a little Forrest Gumpish in sort of, there's a couple of times where I'm like, wow, I was there for that. And I do pinch myself all the time. I'm grateful for everything. I've been able to tick off bucket list things like I couldn't have imagined. Just the other day, I got to walk the red carpet at Cannes with Ron Howard on the Jim Henson film that I also just did. And, it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm very, very grateful for everything. And, thank my lucky stars. And I try and stay as humble as I can. I don't like to get carried away. Everything can change in a heartbeat. So it's just been amazing. Opportunity. It's all about taking opportunity, I believe.
Well, it also would indicate to me, Paul, that you're not a pain in the ass to work with because everybody wants to work with you. So that's good.
Yeah, that might be a question that some people will like, hang on a sec, I'm not sure about that. No,
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
No, absolutely. I try to, you keep your feet on the ground with everything, and everyone's got a job to do. And like the Blue Angels, 150 people, personnel, making that show fantastic. You look at the 6 blue suits that walk down and do the walk down and do the walk back and get in the jets and fly them at incredible, proximity at 400 miles an hour, 22-ton jets, 12 inches apart. But it takes all 150 to make that happen. And it's the same with a movie. I sit in the big chair, but without everybody underneath doing their job to the best of their ability, we were 100% inspired by the Blue Angels all the way. Everybody raised their game when you hang around people that are at the top of their game so much. So it was the same thing. It's like it takes everybody to do it well. And if we're all doing our job, we'll make a good product. And that seems to be where we've ended up.
Paul, could you do me a favor and go on tour, and all you have to do is walk on stage and look at the crowd and go, stop being such a pain in the ass and enjoy your life, and then just leave.
I'm down. I'll do that. Sure. Motivational speaker. I'm happy to do that, mate.
We will get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, Soar with the Blue Angels, a brand new documentary chronicles a year with the Navy's elite flight demonstration squadron, streaming on Prime Video beginning today, as a matter of fact. Paul Crowder, you were a great guest. Thank you so much for your time, and come back soon, sir.
Will do, for sure. Thank you so much for having me. Everybody have a great weekend, and I really hope you enjoyed the film. And if you couldn't see it in IMAX, watch it on Prime. Get really close to the TV. Forget what your mum told you. Just get close to the TV and watch it with sound up.
We'll get it done, Paul. Thank you, sir.
Right, you're welcome. Thank you very much, everyone.
What a great guy. Man, good booking. You got Tawanda, you got Paul. Could you get 2 better guests? Hell no. I love people like that.
Yeah. To have just a casual jam session with Paul McCartney. Yeah.
When you're 14.
And fly with the Blue Angels. He's lived an exciting life for sure.
He really does. No question about it. Speaking of exciting people, we'll take a break, and then Kristen Burt will join us right after this.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner. You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
No, Tom.
There we go. We're back. Tom.
He
casually comes back to his own show.
I'm trying to get everything packed as quickly as I possibly can. How come that was so short?
I think that was the same amount of time as normal.
3 minutes? That was 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Man. Oh,
You're a disaster.
You know what, though? You know, the reason I'm late, the real reason is I walk in to ask Catherine if she's, ready to go. Because we're going to do the family show with Gelfand coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But I walk in and Jude starts growling at me. I'm like, what the hell is he growling at me for? She just gave him a bath. He hates taking a bath. Hates it. So apparently, because I walk in, it was my fault that he had to take a bath.
It's always your fault. I mean,
God, is he crabby? What a crab ass. But you can't have a stinky dog in a car for 3 days. I'm sorry. You just can't. Not happening.
Makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So, what's the latest?
So what's the latest? AI is the latest. I don't think we talked about the Scarlett Johansson mess.
Nope.
That happened earlier this week. So OpenAI was launching a new voice service, and they had approached Sam Altman, who is the CEO, had approached Scarlett Johansson and her management team, and were like, "Hey, we'd love to use your voice. Do you want to license out your voice?" She said no. They came back a couple times. She's like, "It's still no." So they launched a voice that sounded eerily similar to hers. It wasn't exactly her voice, but it was really close. And the crazy thing is that Sam Altman then went and tweeted out the voice just to, because they did like a soft launch of it. And he just wrote her. And Her is the name of the movie that Scarlett Johansson played for that AI computer.
Yes.
So it certainly implied that that was Scarlett Johansson. I will tell you, the person you do not want to mess with in Hollywood is Scarlett Johansson. She and her, not only her management team, but her legal team. Listen, they went and sued Disney and won over the pandemic because they were streaming what was her movie? Black Widow. Black Widow, thank you. And she was supposed to get all of this back end money. All of a sudden, they threw it on streaming without letting her know. And she's like, wait a minute, that's not my payment agreement. So they had to go and come up with a new contract for her and pay her what she was owed. Well, guess what? She's going to be doing the same thing. And people are kind of debating, like, does she have a case here? You have SAG really trying to start to get in on the AI fight. It's happening. It's happening in real time, but it's happening very quickly. So people need to be cautious.
Why do they keep messing with her if they know they're going to get their ass handed to them?
I think Sam was like, let me see how far I can toe the line. Well, guess what? He found out.
Why do managers in some businesses have to be such a pain in the ass? I just don't get it.
You know, tech has been such a big disruptor in the entertainment industry. It's why we're in this, what I like to call a kerfuffle in terms of the finances of Hollywood. And, you know, they disrupted Hollywood, but they didn't have a great financial model for disrupting Hollywood. And now we're all just, honestly, just grasping at straws, trying to figure out a way to survive. We're going back to old models like we've talked about here, cable and linear networks, and just going, hey, we'll throw advertising. This works. But a lot of production crews have not worked since before the strike last year. My Pilates teacher, she like her main job is actually working, you know, she's a producer, and then she would teach. If she was off, you know, had a couple weeks off or whatever, she would come in and sub my Pilates classes. Let me tell you, she has officially quit the entertainment industry and opened a Pilates studio because that is more secure than working in the entertainment industry.
What happened to the entertainment industry? It's just got too expensive.
It's tech. I mean, honestly, tech came in,
definitely,
disrupted it without like a solid business model. And Hollywood got, oh, this sounds great. this is so new and fresh and let's do it. But no one came up with like a business plan to make this profitable. And they just started throwing money like spaghetti on the wall to see what would stick. And here we are. And, you know, a lot of production has left Los Angeles because of tax incentives. So Los Angeles is no longer the hub of Hollywood. And there's a motto going around, and this is really kind of sad, but it's survive till 25, because that's the rumor of when budgets will come back, at least to a more steady pace for everybody. But I'm like, do you really just want to survive until 2025? That's kind of a depressing thought, honestly.
Yeah, it's only 7 months. You know, it's not that long.
But if you have a mortgage to pay,
Right. Yeah.
and you've been out of work since before the strike, which began in May of 2023, that's a very long time to be surviving.
I could see. You know, I remember that happened to me, and I think at least I was not aware of it happening to anybody else. And this was about 20 years ago. The Moog synthesizer, it was called at the time, I think is what they used. But I cut a commercial, and I can't even remember who the commercial was for. I think it was for Musicland, but I can't remember for sure. But I'm driving along the next day, and that commercial came on the radio. And I went, whoa. There was a line that I said that I never said in the commercial. So, I mean, this has been going on for over 20 years now. I mean, and now it's just so perfect. There's no way you could tell. But I mean, I'm listening to myself say something that I never said. And I thought, what if they had me saying something that was like illegal or really filthy or nasty? I mean, how would I protect myself from that? I remember thinking that like 2 decades ago.
And that's the problem, because the federal laws, like some of the states have passed laws, and at least, you know, that will protect you if you're in that state.
Right.
But the federal laws have not caught up to the technology, and you have a lot of the unions. And this is hitting Hollywood first. You know, it'll hit other areas, other sectors and things like that. But that's why, you know, SAG-AFTRA is screaming about this to Congress, going, you have to get on this, because how easy is it to do a deep fake type of porn with an actor?
No doubt
it's very
about it.
easy to do right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and even like the music industry as well is going through their own issues, because you'll get people that will, oh, did you hear, you know, Drake's new song or whoever's new song? And it's like, oh, that was just an AI generated song has nothing to do with him or his camp or anybody like that.
And I'm sure we've all seen this on social media. You're really seeing it on Facebook. The AI generated images, they're doing a lot with like Kate Middleton, because she's out of the public eye, you know, recovering from cancer. And they'll be like, look at Kate Middleton. And it's like this weird kind of like gauzy photo of her. And people, they don't label it as AI, like it's an AI photo. And people are like, look how beautiful she looks. Oh, I'm so glad she's back, because people aren't doing the research. And this is happening all over Facebook. All over the place. And they do it with like travel photos. They're doing it with just random images of like landmarks, and it's strange.
Well, because Katy Perry, there was a photo that was going around of her, I think it was at the Met Gala, and her mom saw it and like took a screenshot and was like, oh, like, I hope you had fun at the Met Gala. And Katy Perry was like, I didn't go to the Met Gala.
Oh, man.
And if you're not looking, and if, you know, even social media doesn't say like this is an AI image, we're all screwed, because people are going to just start believing random things. And again, in an election year, these are things that we need to have honesty and truth. You can't just be like, Trump's doing this, Biden's doing this, and it's an AI image.
God, that's a very good point. All of a sudden, you got the president of the United States talking to you, and it's not really the president of the United States. Like, God.
Right.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Putting words in their mouths that they never said, putting them, even just a photo, putting them in a situation where they never were. It's concerning.
Well, the audio that came out where I said Tevin, AJ, and Kristen are a pain in the ass, I never actually said that. It was AI.
You did actually, and that is the truth.
You did actually.
It's so weird that we don't have like a law in place, like similar to how the explicit label for music back in the day. That was a huge thing and everything. How is there not a label for anything that gets made by AI, like an image, to have like hey, it's yellow and it says heads up, This is AI.
Especially when every the Getty images, every one of their images will have the watermark on it. Where there needs to be like a AI watermark requirement.
100%. And listen, the royal family got caught up in an editing scandal, and now anytime you see a photo taken by like Kate Middleton, and she's done a little Photoshop there, if you look at Getty Images, because I'm on there every single day pulling photos, you will actually see that there's an editor's note like this was edited using Adobe, Photoshop. Or I saw one yesterday from Cannes Film Festival saying this one has a starburst filter on it. And it was like a photo at Cannes Film Festival of Kelly Rowland.
So what was the Kate thing where her hand was wrong or something in the picture?
Yeah, I've had to cover this one ad nauseum, this story, but
well, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just funny. So the royal family has decided to, be like approachable and relatable by taking a lot of their own photos and then releasing them to the public for media services to pick them up. But before they hand them out to Getty Images or any like a publication like People, they would do some editing, and the editing was really bad Photoshop. And so if you start looking at things, you notice that hand placement's weird, or that like zippers are all askew. And this has happened more than once. I really got to reach a fever pitch with Kate Middleton's Mother's Day photo in March, because that's when it is in the UK. But there have been many instances, and there's a very famous photo of Queen Elizabeth when she was alive with most of her grandkids. And it's very clear from the image they were not all in that room. I mean, there's people are like pieced in and everything else. And listen, it happens a lot, but they need to be honest and just upfront, like, hey, we put this collage together for everyone.
God, that is terrifying. There's no, I mean, they could have you saying things that you never said that are horrible. That is not good.
No, it's not good. And in a world where, everything is heightened and everyone is hyper aware of situations, whether religious, political, racial, I mean, these are things to be concerned about. And I don't think enough people are thinking, well, it's not going to hit my industry. It can hit anyone because of social media. And I think that, and we've talked about like revenge porn, like your ex-boyfriend puts up a nude photo of you on the internet to get back at you. Well, guess what? They could do a deep fake of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. Although I would kind of like to use it to do things like interview people who are dead. That'd be kind of cool. Have the dead interview like twice a week on the Tom Barnard Morning Show. What do you think?
Again, their estate is going to come after you big time. So I hope you're ready to fight the good fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guest, Marlon Brendel. Hey, Tommy. How you doing? That'd be phenomenal.
You could have Elvis.
Elvis would come on. Hey, by the way, Elvis did not lose his house. That's good. They took it off the market or put
the judge rules. There's still going to be a further investigation, but it looks like the papers were fraudulently presented.
Right.
And it looks like the Presley family is in the win side of this, but. Kind of crazy that you can, again, get that far in the legal system and have a foreclosure auction announced.
God, we have a piece of audio, and I don't know where we'd have to dig it up, but it's Elvis's last interview, and it's not really Elvis, of course, but he'd be talking to people, and while you're talking to him, he'd start singing. But he'd always be singing about food because Elvis had put a lot of weight on. A peanut butter and a banana sandwich gonna get me through the night. Because he loved peanut butter and banana, I guess. But I think I talked to you about this, that I wanted to reroute our trip because if they were going to sell Graceland, I wanted, because I've driven by it, but I've never gone in.
You should still reroute your trip. This shouldn't stop you.
Catherine said, nope, I'm not doing it. This is typical Catherine. I agree.
Catherine.
Did you tell her that there were ribs involved as well?
Yeah, that's like right by Elvis's house. There's a rib. What was it, Mojo or what is it?
Yeah, something like that with an M.
There was just an M. I know you told me about that, but I do it, because that was the beginning of my interest in even doing radio because my brother and sister were so wild about Elvis Presley when I was 4 years old. I mean, that's a big... See, Catherine is 8 years younger than me. So Elvis means nothing to her,
I'm not an Elvis fan myself. I hear a cat. Sorry. But
Come on in, kitty.
Come on in, kitty. Here she is.
There she is.
But I do think that going to Graceland, like once is a bucket. I wouldn't like go every year or anything,
No,
but a bucket
no.
list item just to visit it, I think is interesting. The Presley
would,
family
yeah.
is fascinating.
No, I would absolutely love to go to. I got to get to Graceland someday because it's just another one of those iconic spots. And somebody told me he bought that house for like 17 grand or something back in the 1950s. That was probably a lot of money back then for a house, I would guess.
I'm sure it was, and it sounds like a really nice price. I would like that.
I bought a mansion for $17,000. What are you thinking? Are you looking it up, Tevin? I see you looking down at the monitor.
I'm looking it up. It was a little bit more than 17,000.
Oh, was
but
it?
Still a hell of a deal. It looks like it was only $102,000
in 1955 or 6? No, 57.
Yeah, the age.
Boy,
of
that was a lot of money in 57.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
man.
That'd be like buying over $1 million. Probably more than that. I would
Yes.
think with inflation, if you
10,000 square feet and
Yeah,
sits on
big.
14 acres. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No question. And
that'd
now,
be 60 million in LA.
oh God, yes. Well, to give you an example, I was at an Auto Nation auto dealer earlier this week, and I'm standing next to this BMW. I think it was a BMW. I think I'm standing next to it, and I'm just gonna, I looked over, $110,000 for a car. It's like, I'm not spending 110. I don't give a rat's ass what kind of car it is. I am not spending $110,000 on a car. No way. Right?
It's not worth it. I mean, here in LA, we do such heavy driving. To be
Yeah.
honest, like,
Yep.
and our parking spots are really narrow. All you're gonna get is door dings, and like the thought of buying a super expensive car and have a bunch of door dings in it from the parking lot at the supermarket just makes me kind of sick. So I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah, no question about it. What are you going to do? But I do have to get to Graceland. Maybe we should do a morning show from Graceland. Do you think they'd let us do it?
I don't see why not.
Why not ask?
Every
You
show
don't know
has
the
to-
answer until you ask.
Every show starts with, hello, baby. That'd be phenomenal. Don't you think?
I'll dress like Priscilla Presley with like the big like
got the big-
hair
You with big hair. That'd
and
be
like
great.
white go-go boots. It would be so cute.
Go-go boots. Jesus, I haven't seen those since I was about 14. All right, any closing statements, sister?
Any closing statements? Steve Carell's coming back to TV.
Is he really? What's he doing?
He is. He's doing a new show that's going to be about now he's a dad, but a father who is working on a college campus, and he's trying to have some type of like better relationship with his daughter. It is going to be produced by Bill Lawrence, who has done Ted Lasso as well as Shrinking. So I think it's going to be really good. So we can look forward to that. But I'm excited that he's coming back to TV.
Steve Carell is one hell of a talent. What was that series called where he was chained to a bed? Remember that?
Oh yeah,
What was the name of that show? He was really
it is really good.
Yep. But I can't remember the name. But he was
I
chained
can
to a
see
bed.
the image too.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah, what a talent that man is. I go back and Kath and I go back and watch, The Office. Some of the most brilliant speeches that are the most idiotic speeches I've ever heard, but he just nailed them. God, he was good.
Was it The Patient?
The Patient.
Patience,
Yeah,
yeah,
there goes the
that's
patient.
it.
It was a patient, man. Is that Gelfand?
It is.
Yep. He's
Get the
answering.
hell out of get the hell out of camera shot, you pill.
I have a question before we wrap. Are you guys ready to have Tom back in studio?
We actually
Tuesday.
we did some tech checking this morning before the show to make sure there was nothing we had to take care of in the next couple of days. So I think I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dust off his microphone and we're back at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk in and go, what the hell's wrong with you people? It'll
He's
be
going to
wonderful.
kick you guys under the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go
Yeah,
to a separate
exactly.
room now, but yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah, everybody's got their own room now, but other than that,
The social
Kristen,
distancing.
you still got to get to town one of these days. I know you moved away because, you hated Jesse Ventura, but other than that,
Well, bring me in and I'll come in.
you should come in, you pill.
Yeah, we've got the gymnastics trials that are coming to
I know.
Minnesota, so you can come.
I've been looking at tickets. They're so. I'm trying. I was like, oh, everyone's bought them up, and now they're on the resale market. They're like triple
Well,
because we got a good team.
You can close with the information on a 4-pack of tickets for the Timberwolves, Tevin. How much are those again in that front row?
Oh, yeah. If you wanted to go sit courtside last night, just a small $20,000 check per seat to sit courtside.
Per seat.
Yeah.
20 G's for one game.
Might be
per
less
seat.
since they lost last night. So.
Yeah,
and then they lost.
You know how mad I
Imagine
would be.
dropping 20 grand. Do you get free snacks if you're in the front row and you spend 20 grand? I at least want free snacks.
You gotta get
Or like club access before the game.
Mhm.
That's always nice.
Yep.
They do that at the Lakers. Like you get club access and then you go.
Here's a pretzel. What do you think of that?
No, they do like a full delicious buffet if you get
Really?
courtside seats. I've done it once. I dated a guy whose parents had courtside seats, and I was like, "Oh, this is fancy."
That is very fancy, no question about it. All right, we will talk to you on Tuesday.
Yeah. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone.
You too. Enjoy your
travels.
4-day weekend. Safe travels to you. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. What?
Oh, she was laughing because I feel like that was a when like the,
Enjoy your meal. You too.
Waiter,
Yeah.
Safe travels, and you go, you too, and she's like, I'm not traveling anywhere, but thank you. But in her day-to-day life, I guess.
Yeah.
She travels all the time, I thought.
Yeah, but I think she was implying your drive from Florida back home, and so you just got a kick out of it.
Well, you got a kick out of it because I never pay attention. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you pay attention, I would say 90.
Every other word or so. Yeah.
Every other word or so. I'll dial it right in. No question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just about 15 minutes, we got the family show with Andy and Mike Gelfand. What do you think of that?
I like it. We'll catch you next time we talk. It'll be in person.
It'll be in person. I'll be sitting right there in Studio B. Why do you get to be in Studio A? I have to be in Studio B. What the hell's that?
I'll rearrange the letters on the doors before you get back.
You're
All
not
can
gonna-
be in, you two can be in A.
I like it. Works for me. All right, fellas, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, talk to you then.
Thanks.